Sippers, welcome to the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shaney Boy Cute, the man himself, the man boy, the money toad, the man with several names, Shane Todd. Guys, it's a good day today. What we're going to do is we're going to drink tea. We're going to really just kick back and have a little bit of a laugh. I don't want anyone to do anything that's too taxing. You know, like I know some people like listen to this podcast in the gym or when they're out for a run, but you know, I'd tea's more about relaxing. So what I'd like you to do is, if you're out for a run, just take that pace down. You know, if you're trying to break a PB, don't worry about it. You'll get it next time. Just flow. Just go with it. If you're in the gym and maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to do 20 reps of this, why not just put the weight way up and just do one massive rep and just do a massive grunt, and at the end of it go, fuck yes. You know, I'd really like that. Last time I was in the gym 7 years ago, whenever we were allowed to go in gyms, there was a couple working out in the gym and they were trying to make as much noise as possible through their grunting, and I looked at them like, is that not really weird? You guys are doing this? Like, with my face, I definitely said that, and they looked back to me like, is it weird you're not making that noise? You know, but that's just the way gyms are. Listen, I started fast because I'm gonna do something right here live on the podcast that is the sort of content that people want from the Tea With Me podcast. We're going to do listeners' questions. We're going to do TripAdvisor. I want to look at a video as well. This is the first time I'm going to try and do this. Technically, it might not work out. But we've talked on this podcast about different types of tea, and Barry's tea gets mentioned a lot. People talk about Barry because obviously there's Barry and there's Nam Barry, you know, which is the Vietnamese Barry. That's such lockdown banter, isn't it? You know, but you've got Barry and and Nam Barry, who are, you know, big rivals, two guys of different nationalities. But people always tell me about Barry's and they go, it is the best. I think I've had it before, but I don't remember. So I bought some whenever I did the big shop this morning. Also, best one of the lockdown this morning. I go to Asda. It opens at 7. I go, I'm just gonna go early because I have a lot to do today, and there'll probably be a big queue outside. Guys, there wasn't a sinner around. It was just me, and then later on, a guy. And it was great. That's the way I want to shop, you know, because normally I like to be a cute boy. I like to sort of go about shopping in normal times and say hello to people and look in other people's baskets and go, are you sure, Sharon? You know, whenever you see like loads of cocktail sausages or whatever, but now during lockdown, I just get the headphones in, I listen to a podcast, and I just get up and down those aisles like Mo Farah. But I saw some Barry's tea today and I bought it. Here we go, live on the Tea With Me podcast. It's a live taste test. It's the live sip. It's the exclusive sip of Barry's tea. By the way, this isn't sponsored by Barry's, so I'm going to give a real opinion here, because if they sponsored me, then I would have to go, that's delicious. But there is the threat here that I might take a sip of this and go, that is fucking vile. So here we go. Now, by the way, I should point out before I give my reaction here, if you're new to the podcast, it is called Tea With Me. We are a tea nation of people, but the whole podcast isn't about tea. But what I will say about that is, because there will be some people listening or watching for the first time going, does he just talk about, is it just a man tasting tea? And there is a market for that, but that's not what we're about. I will say Barry's tea, smooth, strong, you know, and Barry seems like a guy who, you know, because you've got like Tetley, you've got Punjana, you've got PG Tips, you know, that little monkey pervert guy, and I don't know why I think that. It's just he has very long arms. And he wears a t-shirt but no bottoms, you know, which is very like old school dad pervert. And, you know, because especially my dad, like if we went away on holiday back in the day, I've talked about this in stand-up, my dad used to wear Speedos, still does wear Speedos even in winter, to just go, you know, to just go out. But he used to, on holiday, he'd wear Speedos, but then he'd wear a t-shirt down to the beach, but he didn't put shorts on, so a lot of the time it looked like I had an elderly man with me who was wearing a t-shirt and then just no pants, but he did have Speedos on. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is Barry's tea. I enjoyed it, but I think I took the sip a little bit fast, and we've all done that before. It was just a bit too hot, and I should have said something at the time, but I was trying to act hard in front of you. So we'll just talk about that as we go. But I was gonna say what's been happening this week, but we know in lockdown that not really much goes on. The Ray of Lockdown is back this Friday night. It's gonna come out as a BBC Sounds download. This was the radio show that me and Dave Elliott did. That let me just put this on airplane mode. That was the radio show me and Dave did, and we were on Radio Ulster for a 10-week run, and this is like our 4th series, but this is the time where, because we just started playing like dance music and doing like old school shout outs that like used to happen back in the day in radio, where it's like, you know, shout out to this person doing that, and then there became all these characters that became part of the show. I mean, all the shout outs were real, but you know, there was character like Marple and Blobby, if you listened, kept coming in every week, and it just really took off, and we were like totally amazed by it. But then our run ended and another show was scheduled to go into the slot. Like that's how it works, you know. You get given your time, your contract, and then something else is, because they got a schedule like really far in advance. So I kind of pushed to get the show to come back in some way, as like, give us any slot, just let us keep doing, because it really did become like a thing in people's weekends, including mine and Dave's. You know, it was your Friday night, because there is no Friday night. So for anyone who listened, and by the way, I'm not saying this was like the biggest thing since sliced bread, but I just mean for some people it actually felt important in a way, even though it was two dickheads playing Wakefield Saturday. I'm talking about this like it's Michelangelo's David, you know. I'm talking about this like it's some sort of really important poetry, when it was actually two fellas being like, oh, shout out to fucking Declan skinning, no, oh, Jesus Christ, I was about to say skinning ferrets. Nobody ever called in with that, but you know, it'd be like, shout out to fucking Mr. Bigglesworth up in Cookstown, just enjoying some ham with his shoes off. This is Corona Rhythm of the Night. You know, it was that kind of thing, and I think it was silly. I think people enjoyed it. We certainly did, and I was very like persistent in trying to get the show back in some way. So they said, look, we can do a BBC Sound show, would you be interested in that? We said, you had us at the first thing you said, so that's coming back. We're recording that tonight, and I'm buzzing, really really excited for that. We've got the TV show previously for BBC. We got a 3-part series of that, mentioned a couple of weeks ago. So we're sort of working out how we film that in lockdown, which is going to be different, you know, because there was an audience for the last one. There'll be no audience this time. So we've got to figure that out. And then it's just seeing like what the crack is with stand-up and what the crack is with gigs. I don't know. You know, we're having a baby. I don't know what's going to happen with like the getting back into stand-up. So I think something is going to happen, like drive-in cinema type thing, reduced capacity gigs. I don't know, but I just need to get back into it. But the podcasts have been great fun. I've done a couple other people's podcasts this week as well, and it feels like, in a way, it's like keeping me sharp a bit, just because you're having to try and like, in a way, be funny. And obviously we're talking about a nonsense on here, but like kind of in a way it feels like stand-up, you know, just like a little bit. But yeah, I'm buzzing to get back into stand-up. I did a run this morning, and I just sat for an hour after it in my kitchen, and just sort of felt, you know what I mean? I just was in my feelings, and I say in my feelings, I was just bright red for about an hour, and I think that tells me that I need to like, hold on. Yeah, that Barry's is definitely good. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe like don't run in the heat, you know, because I run in the heat and then I come back, and for an hour, maybe it's just because I'm not as fit as I should be, but whenever I come back, I really have a Robert De Niro face, and I breathe like Tony Soprano. Whenever I finish a run, I look like a mafia boss who's weighing up a really important like job where they got to shoot someone, but he's not sure if he wants to do it because the guy used to be his mate. Hey, we're gonna whack this guy. You know, that's the way it is. But and I'm getting new running shoes, so that should make me run a lot faster, because that's what it is. That's what it is. I just need new shoes. They've got a wee air bubble in them, so I should shave about 20 minutes off my time, I would say. So I said I was going to do like a breakdown of a video. I haven't done this on the podcast before, but this just needs to get out there to the masses. This video was viral way before things were viral. You know what I mean? Like, it was this and syphilis back in the day. Everybody had this on their phones. People sent it around, and I got reminded of this very recently. So I'll like play it as we go. But if you haven't seen this, it's basically a rap battle between two guys. It's called Belfast Rap Battle, and I feel like everybody my age has seen this, but it's my hope that some people haven't, and they get to welcome this into their lives. It's two fellas going head to head in an improvised rap battle. I don't think I don't think they've written this beforehand, but let's just enjoy it. Let's watch it together. I haven't seen this in years. Let's just break it down and get into it.
Go for it. Yo, my name is Randy. More than damn swift on beat. He is Johnny, and he can't see me. He's a motherfucking bitch. And I don't give a fuck. Fuck this world.
I mean, one thing that's great about it is, right, none of it rhymes, right, which is fine, because, okay, I do like the MC Beezer thing where I'm like Belfast rapper. If I was put in the spot, I couldn't freestyle rap, right? So it's difficult because this guy's under like loads of pressure, but it's the fact, it's the fact that, okay, you know, he's like feeling his way into it, but the last line,
all drink up,
you know, which is great. Like, it's like, I love this video because it's so positive. Everybody is having a great time. These guys are going head to head rap. I like what this guy's wearing. I think he's got like a wolf on his long sleeve t-shirt. It's brilliant. All drink up. I mean, that's what you want to do when you're having fun.
Good on. Right, go ahead.
You know somebody is going to deliver straight heat whenever they have to get up from the top bunk. Like, I think Eminem permanently just sits on the top bunk of a bed and waits until like Dr. Dre's ready to go into the studio, and then he's like, yep, I'm up. Like, this guy has been chilling on the top bunk, and he is about to just bring serious heat to the party.
You can't see me? You ain't no fucking John Cena, bitch. I tell you what, wanna know something?
You're definitely scrambling when in the middle of a freestyle rap battle you go, do you know what? Do you want to know something? It's such a delay for time. Here, 2 seconds. Here, I'm about to tell you something, right? But I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm not going to tell you right now, but wait for it, because here it is. On the top bunk.
The Rock will fucking kick your ass any day. That's why he invented boots the asses. See, as far as I'm concerned, I'm as fucking Irish as they come. I'm fucking a lucky bastard.
He goes from The Rock to, he's like, I'm Irish, a lucky I mean, also the way he delivers lucky bastard, you would never hear that in a rap battle in like New York or LA or anywhere in America. You wouldn't hear it said like that. Lucky bastard. I'm a lucky bastard. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see where he's going to go from here, because by the way, these guys go head to head for a while and it only gets better.
You know what's got better luck than you? Fucking Mr.
Crowd
Parker
loving it.
Says he can catch the fucking fairly all parents as much as he can. You can't even catch a fucking footlocker.
I don't know what that means, but after every sentence he keeps saying under his breath, so it is. And that's enjoyable as well, because that's also like not rap at all to say so it is. So it is doesn't make sense. You know, it's not something that, like, you know, you hear like Migos, you know, I think it's Offset from Migos goes brr, 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 in the middle of his raps. Drake is a big fan of a yeah. You know, he loves that. Like, some people have like a little thing they do. No rap. I mean, this guy is the original because no rapper had already claimed that beforehand. So it is. You know, you're not going to hear at the start of Kendrick Lamar, you know, bringing in a new track. You're not going to hear Kendrick Lamar starting off a freestyle. So it is. So what is? it. Yeah, but what is it? It is it, so it is. Also, he's wearing chinos. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal from this guy. Also, how short are those bunk beds? Because I don't know if that ladder needs to be there, but that's irrelevant. All we know is the crowd are getting well into it at this point.
You can't even catch a fucking Foot Locker.
I mean, sometimes in rap, I guess you get just carried away and you just say something that sounds good in your head at the time. But I don't know where he's going with this. You couldn't catch a Foot Locker. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. I mean, does he mean the shop or a Foot Locker in jet? I mean, a Foot Locker sounds big and bulky. I don't know if anyone could catch it. What's your bottle of Bud in hand, by the way. I mean, this is so swagged out. This is so enjoyable. The drinks are flowing. The boys are just going head to head. And he's got a Bud in hand. Find me in the club, bottle full of Bud. It's time for the hit back.
I may not be able to catch a Foot Locker, but you can catch a fucking cold.
Hooray!
Oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't. He also doesn't address the fact that no one knows what it means. You couldn't catch a Foot Locker, and he's straight in with you couldn't catch a cold. Now shit is going down and things are heating up.
Johnny?
At least I'm healthy as fuck, bitch. Cause wanna know what that means? I can fucking get it on all night long with any bitch in your girl's day.
See, he's talking about a period of so much time. I get on with any bitch all day and night and afternoon and evening. He does, like, as well as that, he does look like someone who would have stamina. Like, he looks like a long distance runner, so part of me doesn't doubt that. And also, I don't like that there's no need for that. Like, this guy is basically taking it, like, down a level in terms of what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, he's getting a little bit disrespectful. He's obviously a hit with the ladies, and he's getting well into that. It is going down. The crowd are starting to get really, really into this.
Ready?
You couldn't get it off with a fucking grandma, bitch.
Oh, Johnny, well played, sir. Well played indeed.
Never made my fucking girl. You're a ginger ass fuck.
That's like they're having fun up to this point. You're a ginger ass fuck. I mean that is Virgin on Sly, and nothing is rhyming here. Nothing is rhyming here. And again, like Ed Sheeran, like, does a little bit of rap in his music. I don't know if ginger guys should rap. You know, that has never, again, it's never, but this is an exclusive. No one in a rap battle has been called a ginger ass fuck.
No one need you in the world.
Never mind my fucking grandma or your grandma. Either way, fucking grandmas have more experience than you. Sis.
I think all that. By the way, this has turned into, like, he's giving him advice, you know what I mean? Because he's crouched forward now in the bunk beds and he's just having a real heart to heart.
Hey, fucking grandmas have more experience than you. Sis.
Oh, how quick did he do it so it is there? Grandmas have more experience than you at this? Unbelievable. Oh shit, he's getting well into this.
Like this fucking size. And I tell you what, the fucking Chinese are going, is that fucking it?
I get it in his head, right? I get what he means because it's an old outdated stereotypes that Chinese guys have small dicks. I get what I get in his head the place where he's bringing it from, but he's undermining his point because he's making Johnny seem from that act out like he has a massive dick, because he goes, the Chinese are going, I don't know where it is, but then he's also whacking off a massive dick. It's not gangster. It's not gangster halfway through a rap battle. They're like, okay, maybe you would make some reference about jacking your own and maybe you'd do that, but you shouldn't be in a rap battle, I don't think, like wanking off other guys, even with your imagination.
Is that fucking it? is that all I'm fucking getting?
It's also, he just keeps sitting back in the bunk bed after every line like, oh shit, let me just get a rest here.
Sis, I can barely make myself a fucking milkshake out of it. So the boys can't even fucking come to my door to see it.
Oh, like, he doesn't understand measurements and he doesn't understand, like, what's a lot. Like, I think what he said here is he's wanking his mate off And he's like, there's not enough sperm here. There's only enough sperm here to barely like fill up a milkshake. A milkshake is a lot of volume. I don't know how much he's producing, but he's not impressed that his mate Johnny is going to basically churning out a full yazoo. He's been doing that for too long. He's been doing that for too long. He's been doing this for like 40 seconds. That's not in a rap battle. Like there's certain hand movements you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, maybe you do it quick. But for like 45 seconds, you can't just be pretending to pull your mate's massive dick.
Go ahead.
Brilliant.
Size don't matter a bit. It's how you fucking use it. You know about that because you can't even do it.
He's just. You also shouldn't be saying that during a rap battle if you're trying to be gangster. No, mate. The thing is, size doesn't matter. It's how you use it. That's basically being like he's saying like in rap, I got a small dick. No, mate. Ultra event. No, it's actually how you use it, mate. Now, a big balls like so.
You know about that because you can't even do it.
Well, obviously
Oh,
a black
shit.
person's got more fun featuring.
One more time.
Obviously a black person's got more fun featuring. As far as I'm concerned, they're the luckiest bastards around. They can rap, they can fuck, they have big dicks.
He's not rapping anymore. He's not. He's got so into dicks, like, and talk about dicks that he's just made like a social commentary point there, where he's like, first of all, he's obsessed with like stereotypes about dicks because he's talked about Chinese. And listen to this. I mean, this is a rap battle.
Well, obviously a black person's got more fun.
It's the look to the camera. Obviously, no, but wouldn't black guys have more of an advantage? And then just to sit back, Jesus Christ, this is a rap battle.
They're the luckiest bastards around. They can rap, they can fuck, they have big dicks. They're fucking lucky. See, as far as I'm concerned, there's one animal that can fuck better than you, and that's a fucking cow. 4 dicks, 4 birds, easy enough. Man safe.
You have 4 dicks?
I don't remember this from the first time that I saw this, but where did that come from? I thought he was gonna say a lion. There's one animal that fucks better than all the rest. I like cow. What's a line he says after it?
4 dicks, 4 birds, easy enough. None safe.
You have 4 dicks?
4 dicks, 4 birds, easy enough. I don't know. Also, they're others. It's not dicks. They're not dicks. This guy got up to a farm looking at cows being, oh, you lucky bastard. This means that he thinks to get milk farmers wank up. He's so obsessed with people being wanked up. Can we have that one more time? 4 dicks, 4 birds, no problem.
4 dicks, 4 birds, easy enough. None safe.
You have 4 dicks?
He just reclines. 4 dicks, 4 birds, no problem, easy enough. Like that's all that needed to be said. I want what I really want more than anything is Attenborough in the next series of Planet Earth. Like I want Attenborough's last sign off line to just show a cow in the wild, and I want David Attenborough to say, the animal that has sex most in the animal kingdom is the cow. 4 dicks, 4 birds, no problem. And just retire.
Sir, there's one animal that can fuck better than you, and that's a fucking cow. 4 dicks, 4 birds, easy enough. None safe.
You have 4 dicks?
Cows, 4 dicks. Guys, welcome to your first year of university. You're studying agriculture. We're going to be learning a lot about farm machinery, about some of the animals you would find on a farm. Like, can anyone tell me an animal you might find on a farm? Yeah, cow. Cow, absolutely correct. Oh, we've got another hand up there. Have you got another animal you'd like to add into this? No, it's just a fact about cows. Oh, right, okay. Well, yes, feel free to give it to the class. 4 dicks, 4 birds, no problem. Give me a distinction. It's a first day. 4 dicks, 4. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Cows have 4 dicks, 4 birds, no problem. Give me that 2-2. Jesus Christ. Honestly, like, I remember seeing that at the time and enjoying that, but I don't think I've enjoyed anything more. I feel like if we all see this in lockdown, and like, you know what? Fair fucks to those fellas. Fair fucks to those guys, because you can tell the fellas behind the camera are like, go ahead, do it here and we'll film it. But they both just absolutely go for it. And that's the funniest part of it to me. That, like, at no point do these two fellas get embarrassed. At no point. They're just like, fuck it, we're wordsmiths, we're obviously like into rap. We've got the rhymes. I mean, no 2 words ever rhyme in it at any point. But that's 8 Mile. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real 8 Mile. It's not 8 Mile, probably not as much as 8 Mile. It's 5 Mile. It's 5 Mile Town. You know, that's kind of what it is. But that is just, there's something so beautiful about it. You've got these 2 defined characters. Johnny standing there, bottle of bud. He's all action. He likes to be on his feet for it. Also, full player, because the glasses he's got, Nike glasses, right? Baller move. You've got, I think it's Johnny, or no, the other guy is on the top bunk of a bed. He likes to recline. Also, he had 2 pillows behind him the whole time, which again is not rap at all. Like, at no point in Straight Outta Compton does Dr. Dre be like, man, my posture's just not right here. Can he passes that wee cushion? Oh, that's it there. Really, 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 really enjoy that. I really enjoy that. That's given me such a laugh. Oh my God. I mean, I wonder, could we get those 2 fellas on the podcast next week? If I'm being serious, if anybody knows those 2 guys that took part in that rap, I think they're absolute legends, and I would love to just have them, even for a very quick chat over Zoom or on the phone on the podcast, because people would love to hear from them, I'm sure. But yeah, fair fucks to you guys. That is really, really enjoyable. Sippers, let me really quickly plug the Patreon for the Tea With Me podcast. This is basically a way where you sign up for a small fee. You get the bonus podcast on a Monday and a load of other cool stuff. We've got stickers. We've been emailing about those. Our man Roscoe, Material Goods. And we hope to have those really soon for all the Patreons. Who'll be sent them out free. If you are a member of a certain tier of the Patreon, you get a ticket for the first live podcast whenever we're all like outside again and going to gigs and all that kind of thing. And yeah, but we do a bonus podcast, me and producer Dan, every Monday, which is like the same length as one of these. And it's all good fun. So shout out to all the sippers that help us out over on the Patreon. If you're in a position to do that, that'll be class. If not, totally understand. You'll still get the Wednesday and Friday episodes of the Tea With Me podcast. Also, we got to plug the Rave Lockdown, which is on BBC Sounds this Friday. You can listen to it at any point during the week. And it's me and the big gap-toothed stonehead. I mung myself off because I didn't pronounce it right. Dave Elliott, so do check that out. Back to the pod. Sippers, we're back. We're going to do listeners' questions. I haven't done TripAdvisor on this episode, and I'm going to be honest about it, because it honestly is the best policy. We're not doing it this week. We're not going to do it. What happened is, because I don't really plan it beforehand, I went on the TripAdvisor website, typed in a couple of places, tried to do it, but the reviews just weren't juicy enough, and it was just wasting everybody's time. So next week, I'll maybe ask listeners if they know places with good TripAdvisor reviews, and we can do them, then we'll do that. But we got listeners' questions. Stuart Clemens says, James Bond, who did it better? I'm not really a Bond guy. I don't know, I didn't like Bond's attitude, like shaken not stirred. You know, you're like, nobody asked you. You know, just what do you want to drink? Martini, shaken not stirred. You know, that is just kind of like, I don't know, I think it's a little bit sly from him. And like, obviously I wouldn't be a good Bond because I only really drink cider. And you know, you can't really add anything to that after you say it. You know? Yes, what would you like to drink? Could I have a pint of cider? Yeah, no Bond has ever had a pint of Magners before. No Bond is ever walking about with a bottle that's a wee bit too big, even though he's already poured the drink, but he still has like a good bit left. Like Bond isn't walking about with like too many things in his hands and a packet of crisps in between. You know, so I don't think I'd be a good Bond. I don't know. Some of the new ones have been pretty good, but people are weird for Bond. Like guys, like in particular, like guys who like, you know, claim to be straight or like a little bit. Let's just say a little bit gay for Bond, if you sort of catch my drift there. So, no, I don't know. The best Bond, people always talk about Sean Connery as being the best Bond. Pierce Brosnan was definitely like a little bit wick. I think we can all appreciate that. Good actor, but not a Bond. Daniel Craig is good as Bond, I think. But I don't know. I think they should get a wild card in there. You know, like, let's have someone who hasn't been talked about as maybe going to be the next Bond. Let's just throw them into it. Like, what about Kirk from Coronation Street? You know, I would definitely enjoy that. You know, if Bond was ordering bitter, you know, a pint of bitter and a hot pot, I would enjoy it. And he would have to get Chesney would be Bond's, like, main man. And Kirk wouldn't get it right. You know, Kirk's a little bit ditzy, so they'd be like, what's your name? Like, instead of saying 007, he'd be like, ah. You know, I'd be honest, I've never heard Kirk talk before. But is he like a bit like that? I don't know, I just like the idea of like a more Yorkshire Bond. I would definitely enjoy that, but I don't know who did it better, because I haven't seen that many of them. Roger Moore, Dave likes Roger Moore, so maybe he was pretty good too. Noah Ballard says, American here. That's a, hey. We're all united by tea. We're all brought together. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you're from. The Democratic Republic of Congo, Macrofelt, America, you're very welcome here. I like the way of American listeners, Noah. So thanks for being on board. Noah says, I only recently got into classic hot tea, mostly because of your podcast. Yes, if I can leave any legacy in the world, this is what it is. People are just getting into tea. I want people to be like, that fella was, like, calling me Sheen. Like, that's another thing. Some of the Patreons have been calling me Sheeny Boy Cute, which I don't want. I just, you know, stick with like the Money Toad or the Man Boy Cheeky or whatever. But stop. I'm basically using this platform as an appeal to say, stop calling me Sheeny Boy Cute. Even though my hair is like DiCaprio in Titanic and I'm looking like young and tan, I want people to stop. Whatever you do, stop saying Sheeny Boy Cute, because I hate it. So it's embarrassing if you keep calling me. Noah says, where I'm from, sweet iced tea rules all. What's the official Tea With Me opinion on the syrupy goodness that is sweet iced tea? An ingenious innovation or an abomination? That could definitely be a feature, Noah. Just every week with different topics. An ingenious innovation or an abomination. I can't judge because I've never had it. And we don't do that here. We're a tolerant people. The Tea With Me society, like, we're nice people. Tea drinkers are calm, nice people. So I would say, I think I might enjoy iced tea. I've never had it, Noah. And I was going to say, like, depending on what part of America you're from, if I'm in that part of America for a gig next year, you know, we could definitely meet up and we could have an iced tea. Now, I'm aware that somewhere in the world will be like homosexual slang. Like, that's definitely gay slang for something. Like, I don't know, an iced tea, let me touch your pee. I'm not sure what it would be, but if it's just an iced tea, I think I would like that and I could give you my opinion. But I don't know, like, I think when you grow up in Northern Ireland, definitely an iced tea is something that you're told is bad. You know, you're told, like, oh, don't be going over drinking any iced tea, like devil worshippers do that. But I think I would probably be willing to give it a chance. I think I would give it a chance. Also, what's sweet is that we weren't recording the audio there from the laptop, which is class. But I'm doing it now, so the sound will be better now. And that's sweet. Ultimately, it's a lovely day outside, and I'm making loads of mistakes, and I'm not getting out of the nice weather, but it's fine. And I'm having turkey sausages for lunch, so it's going to be sweet. But Noah, I can't comment yet, but great to have you on board. And all the international sippers, I just want to say, keep sipping. Nick Boyd says, when lockdown ends, what will you miss the most? I think it will be probably, in a way, weird to go back. I mean, That's not a big stretch. I mean, it definitely is, because this has become the new normal. What will I miss the most? I think having more time to do the things that I need to get done, if that makes sense. Like, not driving to places. I like driving, to stick a podcast on or stick music on. Sheeny boy QQ cruising in his black car, but I think I'll just miss being at home so much. I'm also not away like a lot. Like every day I am going somewhere to do something, which is very vague of me to say, but you know, it's a gig or a meeting or a podcast or going to play football. It is nice spending a lot of time at home. I've never done this as much, and I am enjoying it, so I think that'll be kind of weird. Arma Apple's Tommy gets in touch. That's a little Patreon kind of in joke. That's why you need to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/teawithmepodcast, and then you'll know about Tommy Boy Apples. But he says, Sheeny Boy QQ, stop it. Can we discuss how the chairman man of the Belfast African Clothing Company, BACC, Aaron Butler, says the word now? Cheers. First of all, yes, Aaron Butler is definitely like a guy from West Belfast who dresses in a lot of traditional African gear, and I don't know whether that's disrespectful or great, but let's give him a call. I've never noticed the way he says the word now, but hopefully we can shed some light on it. Hopefully he answers. How does he say now? Nay? I don't know.
Man.
Botman.
Oh, hit me, Todd.
You're live on Tea with me right now. I've had a question.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
I know.
Oh!
Yeah. I've got a question that's about you, and I need to get your take on it. So
Man, I told you 3 inches, okay?
no, and also it's not, you lying sack of shit. But
alright, it's 4.
yeah,
Okay.
but somebody's asked me to talk about the way you say the word now. Now,
Okay.
I've never noticed you saying that in a weird way. I have noticed before, like you don't do it as much now, but like the number that comes after 2, you would always have said 3, but you're now like a 3 guy. Like, I don't know if you've been to that King's Speech fella or what, but how do you say now? Can you say it? No, that's not the way you said it. See now that,
That's the
see,
way I say
yeah,
it, dude.
see no, see now
That's
that
the
you've
way
said
I've
it.
always said it.
See now that you've said it, I know that that's not the way you say it. Just,
What way do people say? I say it.
I think they think you maybe said NAI. Nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you why. I actually purposely know this for a fact. I might say
So
it
defensive.
in like a comedy way, like if I'm like emphasizing a joke or something, I might do it. But I purposely have always said now because I know the majority of people from West Belfast, and no harm to them, West Belfast will say nah.
Right. Very, very defensive. Okay, man. Thanks for clearing that up. Gotta go, man. Do my podcast now. All right. Yeah, he definitely says nah, and it's definitely weird, and he's definitely like always waited to be called out on that, and we rumbled him. That's what we're doing on the pod. Okay, got questions on Instagram. From first of all Trey Reynolds, who says, no question, just want to say thanks for bringing some laughter to lock down your fab. Well, first of all, Trey, thanks, and I love being called fab because that makes me feel fab. And being like lockdown, I'm wearing like loads of sports clothes all the time, and I'm not really dressing up like really like real Sheeny Boy QQ. Like at the minute, I'm Sheeny Boy sports clothes QQ, but I want to be Sheeny Boy like smart clothes kind of QQ. Even though I just wear like jeans and a t-shirt, but like that's still me at my cutest, I would say. I know you didn't ask any of that, but thanks. Belfast guy in China says, what I like is Belfast guy in China. I think I didn't ask his question last week, so he just copied and pasted the same question. So for that perseverance, I will answer it. He said I didn't not answer it on purpose. You know what I mean? He says, do you ever struggle to stop thinking of double meanings or taking the sentence completely literally for a new joke when someone is talking to you? For example, a girl I work with was once telling me her granny had died, and she was a real character. She said, "Oh, she was just a wee monkey, really." For the entire conversation, I didn't hear anything because I was just imagining a wee monkey in a nursing outfit in a nursing home wearing a granny's outfit. but had to look like I was listening, show some sort of sympathy. Yeah, I like that. I like that imagery as well, of like literally a wee monkey running about and old people. So I mean, it would be carnage. It'd be ripping everyone's face off, which is terrible that they do that. But they are like very aggressive. Monkeys, by the way, not old people. They wouldn't stand a chance against like especially a chimp. Yeah, sometimes I get a wee bit carried away with imagery. I think, is it that, and I know you're not saying that, just that's one example, but it isn't like Asperger's. I might be totally wrong here, and loads of people be like, how fucking dare you? But I think, is it one of the things with Asperger's that you can only take things literally? I might have made that up. In fact, I think someone with Asperger's told me that, and they're probably lying about it. But yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. Like when someone says brainchild, this is the brainchild of Richard Branson. All I think about is Richard Branson having a little wrinkled brainchild that runs about on top of his head and then like sinks into his head, and that really makes me feel vaguely Greek, which is weird, but it does. So we have oh, that's really nice. Someone's asking if I would like a shipment kind of ice creams. I'll reply to that message after the pod, but I can't eat them. But I will definitely dish them out to my wife and some neighbours. Yeah, Josh Hazlitt says, for your podcast, don't know if you have been avoiding the virus topic, but if you aren't, I would love it if you talked about social distancing and whether you think the measures are being lessened too quickly. Josh, I'm not avoiding it. I just feel like on the podcast, like, by the way, shout out to my knee that was in shot for a second there. I think people, not that they don't want to hear about it, I don't want to be irresponsible. Like we did the COVID episode, we brought on a couple of doctors, and I just don't think people want to hear maybe me talk about it. I don't have an informed opinion on it. So I think like listen to like the experts or whatever, follow like that advice. So it's not that I avoid it, I just don't know really what more else to say about it. Are social distancing measures being lessened too quickly? I don't know. It is frustrating though when you see like 215, 16-year-olds on Crawfordsburn Beach having a carry out. But then again, kids are a lot of the time like a little bit like that. I don't think I would have done that whenever I was that age. But I think I would have definitely found these rules very, very, very difficult to deal with, because I like to be doing activities, and I know it sounds selfish, but I think as a kid I can understand why this would be really tough. But at the same time, like, yeah, it's shit to see all that, because you're not worried about the kids that are doing that, but you're like, what if they're taking it home, the parents or grandparents or whatever. So I don't know, Josh, this is the reason I don't talk about it, because I don't really have an informed, educated opinion on it. So Mark Kelly, Irish League legend, says favourite holiday destination. At the minute, I would go to Donegal and be very, very happy, but I'm not too sure. I like a place I used to go as a kid, called Porta Playensa in Majorca. It's got like a big pine walk, nice restaurants right by the beach. I like it, but I think it got really expensive, whatever, and only really rich people go there now, which a lot of you are like, well, surely the money toad laps it up. No. So I like there, I like LA, I like San Diego, the west coast of the States. New York's always fun. But at the minute, on Magaluf, I'm a big fan of Magaluf, and you can be judgmental to that if you wish, but with good weather, bars, swimming pools, it's a good time. It's just a good time. So I like there too, but I'd probably go anywhere at the minute. Chloe O'Brien says, hello, me and my friend, she says hello, and I thought this was going to turn into a very sectarian song, but it absolutely hasn't. Chloe says, me and my friend Dervla were having the chats on tattoos. We were wondering whether or not you have any. Both big fans of the podcast. It is weird to think that conversation somewhere in the world was happening, but do you think Shane Todd has tattoos? It's weird. Do you look at me and think I would, or do you look at me and think you definitely wouldn't? Because I think you would look at me and think I don't, but actually I do. And if you're watching the video version of this podcast, I'll show you my tattoo. I don't know how flexible I am because I ran today. There is my tattoo. There we go. I have one tattoo on the back of my leg, and it says The Todd Father. And I've told the story many times in the podcast, so I'll give you a really quick version of it. Dave Elliott and I did a show in Radio Ulster back in the day, about 3 years ago. We had a general knowledge quiz every week, and the loser at the end of it had to get a tattoo picked by the winner. So, like, for real. Although the producer and Dave and everybody else was like, you don't have to get a real one. It's fine, we can just say it was a real one. And I said, no, if I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And I got it, and it was bigger than I thought it was going to be. Oh, that's what she said. And it says The Todd Father and Dave's daughter Holly's date of birth inside it, because Todd Father, Godfather. And I like that. I think that's funny. And people are like, do you regret it? Like, definitely, like, let's just say people close to me were not happy. And I can totally understand why. But at the same time, it will always remind me of a really stupid thing I did with my mate. Like a really stupid fun bet that I had. And I was happy to do it. And no regrets, they don't work. Robbie Williams, why did he get rid of his songwriting mate, Guy Chambers? Didn't have too many good ones after that. But anyway, Matt Murph says, you're playing Football Manager, you've somehow taken Hartlepool to a Champions League final, you're winning 1-0 against Juventus, the clock shows 82 minutes, your wife begins to go into labour and says you both need to go to hospital immediately. What do? Matt, I obviously do the right thing, you idiot. I go up to hospital and tell my wife and my baby about how Hartlepool just won the Champions League and how I spent 3 days celebrating on the lash. And they went, but we're not allowed out. And I go, I know, in the house just having a carry out. I won the Champions League with Hartlepool. 100%. Matthew Mernon says, would you go to space if given the chance? No, but I'd send you there. Matthew Mernon. Honestly, he's a thorn in my side. If I make a mistake on this podcast with my words, which I never do, he sends it to Dave Elliott and Aaron Butler like some sort of like medieval slave to them, you know, trying to impress the masters. All right, my lord, look, look at what he's done. Oh, master, you'll laugh at that. Matthew Mernon, I like him, kind of. He says, would you go to space if given the chance? No, because I think I'll probably die. Like, something could go wrong pretty easily. Also, I don't think I'd appreciate it. Like, you can't go out and play football up there, which is sly. And in general, like, I appreciate a good view, but for about 3 seconds, and then I go, okay, that's fine. Like, I could look at pictures of space and get the same enjoyment out of actually seeing it. Jenny says, do you remember Shane from Home and Away? He had good curtains. I don't, because I never watched Home and Away because I'm not a 65-year-old housewife. But I'm not saying you're Jenny, obviously, by the way. Just when I think of Home and Away, I think of old women that watched it back in the day. Yeah, he did have good curtains, to be fair to him. Shane Parrish, played by Dieter Brummer. Yeah, they are pretty sweet. I think you're trying to say that I have curtains now. I'm not mad at that at all. Antlers says, what are your memories of primary school? I'm a teacher at Strandtown. We missed the lockdown rave so much. Shabba. Well, I'll see you this week with the rave lockdown. Yeah, I think maybe I said this, but I went to Strandtown Primary School in East Belfast, and it was brilliant. I had a great time there. I was in the choir, A-E-I-O-U, even though I was not a good singer. Somehow I was in the choir, and yeah, played a lot of sports, enjoyed it, had a good time. And my memories of primary school were just me not focusing on things, easily led, like easily losing my focus. Like I am, to be sly, I am actually losing my focus now because I'm trying to find it. I should answer this question instead of going on to the next question, and that's what I'm going to do. Primary school was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that the days weren't as long. Like, you go to primary school at like 9, you're finished at like 2:30, 3, whatever it is, and there was less like work to do, like less homeworks and stuff. So yeah, shout out to Strandtown Primary School, cracking place. I enjoyed it. I remember, and you couldn't do this now, like snog a lamppost because COVID, but I remember kissing a like post that was in the playground at the time, because I pretended that it was Baby Spice. And I said to some of the boys in my class, but we pretend that these posts are the Spice Girls, and kissed them. And they all went, yeah. And then I said, oh, mine's Baby Spice. And I went over and I gave it a kiss. And then I turned around and nobody else was doing it. And I don't think I went in for 2 weeks after that. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And I didn't really do that, in case you're thinking, did I do that? But yes, I did. I did do that. I did do that. But yeah, Strandtown was great. I don't know, get me a plaque or a statue or something, or invite me in to, I don't know, do some class and like give me a sweet fee. I don't know what you want to do, but I would like to do it. I'd like to give back something to Strandtown because it was pretty class. But I didn't do that well academically. I remember the principal was really cool. He was called Dr. Hamilton. I don't know what he was a doctor of, just being pretty dead on, I think. And I remember somebody got their shoe signed by him on the last day of school, and I thought that was pretty class. I think it was class that he actually signed it as well. So yeah, good memories of good times in school. I mean, this feels like summer holidays now. Off primary school, you've no real work to do, just like podcasts and bits and pieces, and you get to just play in the sun. At the minute, that's what this feels like. But yes, everybody keep doing the old social distance and stuff, and let's just get me a statue at Strandtown Primary School. That's the main thing. Before we go, I have to plug the Patreon, patreon.com/teawithmepodcast. I'll also be relaunching my website pretty soon. We'll get the merch and stuff going from there. I think that's the easiest way to do it. But I need someone to build me a website, and I'm not going to do it again, because I put out a shout out for people to build me a website. Like, does anyone know anyone? And loads of people got back to me, but it was the week we started isolating here at the house, so I never got round to actually sorting that out. But I will. And we've got loads of great plans for the podcast. It's it feels like it's getting really good, and the support behind it is great, and I'm blown away by it. Really appreciate it, and I do say that every week. Hope you don't think I'm just saying it for the sake of it. I really, really mean it. Like, I love doing this. I never want to miss an episode, and I have a great time. So we'll be back. We'll do TripAdvisor. I'll probably get into that next week. And is there anything else I need to plug? Waterfront. Hey, February 6th, I'm at the Waterfront Hall in Belfast with my brand new stand-up show, and I'm working so hard on that during lockdown, which I wasn't at the start because I couldn't write any stand-up. And now I'm just working on that show and making sure that it's ready, and it is going to be ready. Also, I'm taking my last year's show and putting that exclusively on the Patreon, and I'll bring out a trailer for that this week. Thank you very much for listening or watching, sippers. Go easy, sip, peace out, love yous.